What's your embarrassing first kiss story? Just kissed a girl, her first, and she proceeded to say she wasn't as good of a kisser as her brother. Took her a second to realize what she'd just said, after I started dying laughing. Tried to kiss my best friend in 6th grade, after she told me next time you like a girl, just go for the kiss. Not only was she not interested, but I came at her from way too far, and felt so embarrassed, that I ran upstairs in tears and went home. She's never quite let me live it down. Kissed a girl in kindergarten. We got playground married, and I told her she was prettiest girl in class. Broke up a few weeks later, because she kept tickling me during a game of hide and seek. I then proceeded to kiss her friend, and told her she was #2 prettiest, because her friend was #1 now. There were a lot of tears. Why did I do this? Not sure, but apparently I was a ruthless psychopath in kindergarten. Wild read from start to finish. I demand a HBO series. Immediately started getting my first lessons. Stop moving your jaw that much. Ouch. Why the teeth, WTF? Yeah. Why are you tightening your jaw so much? That's what it looks like people do in movies. I was 5 years old. I played house with the girl next door. We apparently watched two when our folks put on softcore ish romance movies in the 90s. So we experimented what we saw. Embarrassing part is we were caught doing it by my parents and friends of parents. Also, I had another friend who played along too. We were taking turns. I was with my first girlfriend. We were sharing a pack of Skittles. I told her to close her eyes, so she can guess what color Skittle I was feeding her. Went to surprise her with our first kiss, but she had opened her mouth waiting for a Skittle and I ended up embarrassingly kissing her teeth. Her reaction was just oh. After I walked her home we sat on her stairs, and then she went in for what was our first real kiss. She was such a great sport about it, lol. That is the best story around here. That is the most teen idea ever. Not gonna lie, I thought about it too, but thank God I never did it. I was such a noob that I literally didn't know I needed to kiss back. So I just sat there being clobbered on for like 15 seconds. Afterwards she basically told me I was retarded, but in a nice way. Hilarious. How do you tell someone they are retarded, but in a nice way exactly? Lol, you are retarded. Let me show you how to kiss. At 21 I had my first alcoholic drink, which was a bottle of amaretto, because a girl wanted to see me drunk. I got insanely drunk obviously, puked in her toilet, and then needed to lie down. After that she decided it was time to kiss. I'm not even sure she made me brush my teeth. Apparently I was so bad, so she started to give me tips, and stuff like that. It got really awkward probably, but I was too drunk to realize. I like to believe I was so bad, because of how drunk I was, but I have no clue. Either way that was the last time I drank amaretto. I was playing Wario World on her GameCube, when we were around 11/12. She asked if I wanted to kiss her. Me being confused I said okay, put the controller down and kissed her. Asked me how it was, and I said not as good as this game, and I picked up the controller, and went straight back to playing Wario World. Absolute Chad. Was in 5th grade, was not expecting the tongue, kind of grossed me out, and I gagged a little. She was embarrassed, so was I. We didn't talk again until high school. I've been married to her for 15 years now. We have been a couple for 19. Nice ending to the story. So I was in my dorm room with my girl. We were both sitting on the bed in the dark after just having watched a movie. I was super nervous the whole time and wanted to make a move, but didn't know how or when. We sat in the dark for about an hour just making small talk, and she was getting increasingly closer to me. Then she just asks, "What are you thinking about?" "The signal," I replied. I turned to her, and she was already leaning in. We shared our first kiss. It was full of tongue and uncoordinated, but we both loved it. The signal is a reference to How I Met Your Mother, where Ted missed out on his chance to kiss Robin, because the signal went right over his head. Marching band bus back from a parade. I was 14, a freshman in high school. I had my crush sitting on my lap on the back of the bus and we were all sharing our first kiss story, and when it got to me, I had nothing to share. She grabbed my head, laid one on me, tongue and everything, and I passed out. Not sure why I passed out, but she gave me a hug, told me you've gotten your first kiss. Blood rushed to penis too fast. Drained your brains, and made you pass out. You big dick mofo. I was in .8th grade and this very large girl on the bus told me I was her boyfriend now and pinned me against the window and forcibly kissed me. Can relate from a female side. I was like 8 years old and a boy said, "Hey, you're my girlfriend, okay?" I said lol sure whatever, and he knocked me flat onto the concrete and forcibly kissed me. I'm pretty sure these both constitute sexual harassment lol. Lady here. My first kiss was with another girl during Spin the Bottle in a basement at someone's birthday party in like 7th grade. She said I kissed like a dead fish, and even though it was a joke, it gave me a legit kissing complex that lasted 4 years. After that I didn't kiss another human being until I was in my last semester of college. When the chance finally came around with a guy I met, I nearly ruined it because I was so terrified. He asked to kiss me in public, mind you, and my fight or flight instinct kicked in, so I straight up said no. And even though I didn't get the courage until our 4th date, he was an understanding guy who totally respected that boundary and didn't laugh at me when I finally told him why. Now he's my boyfriend and I can't stop kissing him. She was 9. I was still 8 #STUDMUFFIN right. Anyway, we liked each other. Sat next to each other. Hung out at recess often. Before school one day, we were talking, and she asked if I wanted to kiss her at recess. I said sure, but we needed to duck to the side of the school in the teacher's parking lot in case anyone saw us. She agreed. We headed out at recess, made sure no one was around, and we kissed between the church's hedges next door and somebody's van. Then we held hands back to the schoolyard, and she said I think I liked it, but I feel weird now. I agreed. We asked to have our desks moved when we got back to class. I'm not sure if our teacher figured out why or just didn't care, but she complied and she moved to sit next to one of her friends, and I got this guy who I'll let cheat off me under threat. We barely spoke again after that. Then years later we ran into each other in our early 20s at a Dave & Buster's. I bought her a couple of drinks, and then we hit a VR game, and then back to the bar where I asked her what she meant by I feel weird now. She asked back, well, you agreed, so what did you mean? I said I just didn't know how to react, and that I freaked out, because I really liked her, and I didn't know how any of this was supposed to work, so when she gave me an out, I took it. She laughed. So I asked her again what she meant, and she said, because she always felt gay, but didn't know how to make that work, and that I was nice to her, so she was curious, plus I was Italian, and she was Portuguese and her parents would have killed her. I laughed and agreed. It was 1st grade and I can remember it like it was yesterday. There was a group of kids standing around us in a circle, all giggling and whispering. Is he gonna do it? What's taking him so long? He's a little bitch. Pretty sure that was one. The girl standing there looking all innocent said, don't be nervous, Christian. It's just a kiss. I start taking small steps towards her while putting my hands in my pockets. Start fiddling with my lucky Hot Wheel in my right pocket. Stand face to face with her. There was an intense stare that seemed like an hour, but may have just been 2 seconds. Not too sure. At the time I related time to the amount of Scooby-Doo shows it would take. Leaned in for the kill. She turned slightly, changing this peck into a cheek kiss at the last second. She goes to brush her hair behind her ears. I stress out noticing the kiss has just changed. Right before I closed my eyes. Lips landed. Opened my eyes. I kissed her effing pinky. Everyone dies laughing. She looks sad. Embarrassed. Disappointed. Forever known as the boy that couldn't even kiss a cheek right. I asked my girlfriend for permission before I kissed her. Not the smoothest move in the book. Consent is always smooth, homie. 11 years old. Truth or dare game, kissed a 14-year-old. She was the really pretty girl who everyone liked. I had no interest in girls yet, so I promptly forgot about it. She caught feelings and started flirting, but I just ignored her. One day she walked up in the middle of the playground and slapped me in the face hard. Waited for my reaction. After the shock wore off, I promptly forgot about it. I haven't changed much, tbh. Mr. Stonahat. Please give me some of your powers. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.